I'm Alexander Pizzo, and this is Elevate Your Worth. Elevate Your Worth is an empowering podcast and YouTube show. I'll engage with individuals who have wholeheartedly pursued their passion, often against the odds, and have carved out their unique paths to success. Leveraging my diverse background in sports, corporate leadership, entrepreneurship, and design, I look forward to helping individuals tell their story that may never have been heard before. Welcome to another edition of Elevate Your Worth. I am your host, Alexander Pizzo, and tonight's special guest for episode 5 is none other than one of my best friends. As they like to say, we got it from the mud. He's from Madisonville. I'm from Evanston. If you're from Cincinnati, you know. We grew up playing baseball against one another. He played for the Madisonville All-Stars. I played for Jake Sweeney and Walt Sweeney. Man, I tell you what, there's so many different ways I can go with this introduction, but let me just say this. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a mentor. He's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. This guy has held numerous big-time positions, but he stays humble and true to himself and to his family. This guy has been in the game for countless years on the financial side, and he's all about that economic growth and economic development. My special guest is Mike Smith. But I want to tell you a little bit more about Mike before I bring him on. Mike is a seasoned leader with over 28 years in financial services. He's now in Tampa Bay. He's doing big things there as he once did back in Cincinnati. He's formerly held positions with the Port Authority. He now holds a position with Fifth Third Bank. Mike is going to be impactful with his conversation and his outlook and his thought process when it comes to financial literacy, economic development, but more importantly, minority-owned businesses and how they grow. Without further ado, my good friend, Mike Smith. One of the things that I wanted to talk about and that we wanted to talk about was the adverse effect of pagan holidays on the Black economy.
Right.
So there's two things that can take place. Either we trick off the church's money and we spend it with everybody else, or we use it kind of as a stimulus or a stimulant, I should say, to empower Black-owned businesses and circulate that Black dollar amongst one another. So kind of take me through your thoughts, man, as it pertains to pagan holidays.
I just wish that we as Black folks got that excited every single day, every single week of the year about going out and spending money and empowering each other to be better for the next year. You think about how much money gets spent, in Black households, especially around several holidays during the year. I would bet you, if I had to guess, I don't know this to be factual, but I would bet probably the average spend for a household for the year throughout the holidays, each one, I bet you we spend cumulatively probably $5,000-$6,000 or maybe more sometimes. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I never spend money during the holidays. I'm not gonna say that because I do, but I'm just saying if we came up with a strategy or a plan that directed our spending either towards Black businesses for those holidays only, or to direct that money into a fund or an account that we could use that money to go out and redo our neighborhoods, purchase property, purchase land, redo our own neighborhoods, make things better. So, it's a tradition. It's an American tradition. It's a Black American tradition. But what do we really get from it other than, building up more debt for a lot of folks who really can't afford to do so, or you end up buying a lot of the stuff that within a year or two you probably don't even use anymore, quite frankly. And for me, my thoughts are, the holidays are really just a way to boost the economy each and every quarter. So those are my thoughts, man. I know you have some similar thoughts and maybe a slightly different angle on it. So what are you thinking, P?
Let's kind of go through Q1 and then we'll go to Q2 Q3, Q4 in terms of holidays, right? So
Right.
Q1, let's just be real. New Year's is a holiday, right? Folks, you get dressed up, you go out to a nice dinner, whatever it is. You get some champagne, some wine, you celebrate, right?
Right.
Then we roll into February. We get into February, we got Valentine's Day, right? So you look at it from that perspective. Then you go into March. Do we have anything in March? St. Patty's Day. I'm just throwing out different days that we celebrate and spend, right? And
And let me interrupt you just for a quick second.
yeah,
And you notice it hits all ethnicities.
exactly. It's every group, right? So you keep going. I think I came up with about 8 to 10 days, right? Like 7 major holidays, but about 8 to 10 days that we celebrate. Let's
Right.
just say everybody to spend for those. I dropped it down because it's ancillary with some of those smaller holidays. So I dropped it from 1,000 to about 500 solid, right? So if
Right.
we're 500 solid, knowing that you're gonna have the peaks and valleys. So for 8 to 10, if you run that, that's $5,000, right? It's four to
Right.
five thousand dollars per person. I'm more with you. It's
Right.
probably closer to 6 or 7 when you throw in Christmas.
Right.
Let's say we took a group of 5 people. We do a group of 5 people times $6,000, right?
Right.
That's $30,000. Now,
That's a lot of money.
what could that be the down payment on, Mike?
You looking at a significant piece of commercial real estate, man, investment real estate that you can make and generate even more income from it every single year going forward.
Right.
And not only that, you do that every single year.
You notice that Mike didn't say you could get a nice piece of land or a nice 2-family. He said a nice what, Mike?
Income generating property.
A nice commercial real estate. So it's a big difference of what you can bring with that commercial piece versus maybe, and I'm nothing against a 2-family, but a nice commercial piece of real estate that when you go to bed and you wake up every day, believe it or not, you're making money. You might receive it all at one time, but every day you go to sleep, you're receiving a prorated amount of what you're going to receive on that 30th day.
Right, exactly.
Now, why is it, Mike, that the narrative has always been to support these holidays, i.e., jumpstart the economy, as opposed to having conversations like this where we're talking about, man, let's stop tricking off the church's money and let's put the church's money away as a group, and now let's take everything we got in the pot and come up with a way that we've been able to scale something that we can do to move forward.
The question is why is it like that, correct?
Yes, why absolutely.
Well, I mean, you got retail that needs to make money. You got the economy that needs to continue to go and keep growing. You got people who work throughout the year that go to retail stores and are cashiers and salespeople. They need to make money. You got you got football games on TV to make a hell of a lot of money during the holidays, just because of the bowl games during the holidays, the commercials. I mean, there's a lot of money being spent during the holidays, especially Christmas and New Year's. It's a lot of money, and it's just a way to keep people's focus on spending.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is. And what amazes me, man, is, I don't want to knock anybody at all because nobody's perfect, but we have these events where people are like, well, we got to go out and raise money for folks because of, Christmas or Thanksgiving come up. It's just really another day. Why I understand we want everyone to experience the, Christmas and the way it feels, but it's not necessarily something that if you don't get a gift or something that it's going to destroy your whole entire year. It just doesn't happen like that.
When you think about just the African American community, the Black and brown community, and then you think about Americans as a whole.
Right.
We spend more, we save less, we waste more, and we own less.
Right.
Let me say that again. Let me say that again real quick, Mike. We spend more, we save less, we waste more, and we own less.
And you know what, P, what's crazy is the hood is not poor. The hood is not poor.
It's vibrant.
Right. The hood is not poor. When you look at the money being spent, and why do you think the Asians and Arabs and stuff, they post up in the hood with the convenience stores and other stores because they can make money there. And when you go in their stores, there's everything in the world is in that store. It's not like it's just selling the basics. I mean, you can buy anything from a fake Rolex to shaving powder to baby form. I mean, anything you want is in there.
So, well, you and I both know they probably supply more Infamil than they do anything. And you know, for those of us that know a little bit, we know why they do that. But keep this in mind too, Mike. They also know it's a cash cow. Most of the revenue that comes in, it's going to be cash or EBT, which is guaranteed, right? So now for every 100 I make, I'm claiming 40.
Right.
So that's one avenue that they've taken. For every 100 I make, I'm gonna claim 40. Now, here's the next avenue. It's a cash business, and I can put a lot of things in there that basically just infiltrate and divide a community even more. That I couldn't go to Indian Hill. I couldn't go to Buckhead and put that stuff in there because they shut me down. They shut me down ASAP. But because we don't really police our neighborhoods the way that we should, we allow it in and we ingratiate these individuals. And here's what we do. Oh man, you know, and with all due respect, I'm just, you know, Raheem or Abdul, that's my guy, man. Well, he's your guy because he's loaning, he'll loan you $100 and he'll charge you 50 cents on the dollar.
Right.
So for every 100 that Raheem or Abdul lends you, you owe him 50.
Well, every not gonna say every other ethnicity, but a lot of other ethnicities, life is a business to them.
Right.
Where every day we wake up and we don't look for opportunity. It's not about making money. It's about, you know, it's about existing and enjoying our time, or trying to get, you know, or trying to get to the next opportunity that we can, you know, make a few dollars so we can keep living. For everybody else, I believe they wake up every day looking for opportunity. How could I make money? How can I post up a store? How could I buy property and rent it to somebody? You know, it's a constant endeavor to be in business, and we just don't understand that. We truly don't. I think we're going in the right direction. And I think one thing that maybe the Trump presidency did for us was it allowed us to understand that nobody really and truly cares about us. Right. I mean, they're going to say the right things to appease us and keep us quiet. They're going to say the right things so they can, you know, keep us over here while they make things happen over here. But if we didn't understand one thing, nobody cares about us but us.
You know, you and I talked a little bit last night about some things, and I shared some things with you. And I had an interview for a role within the company. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that role was a promotion. And, you know, people think promotion, increase in pay and all that stuff. That just means that's more of your time that's tied down to the man, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to use it to your advantage. So on our 6:30 call this morning, someone said that, you know, they're trying to get out of that mindset of just that 9 to 5, right? And I said, well, if your mindset is not just the 9 to 5, you will continue to just figure out a way to survive as opposed to working in your true purpose and figuring out how to thrive. I said, there's a big difference. You know, I was asked when I shared with someone that I received a promotion, it's, oh, congratulations. So does that mean you're going to stop doing the other stuff you got going on? I said, hell no, that means I'm going to do more of it.
Right. What did I say to you, P, when you said you got the promotion?
Tell him, Mike.
I said, now you get more money to do what you want to do on the side.
Right. And that's
now,
how. Go ahead, Mike.
The focus has to be reversed. Yeah, a job is good, but you got to remember, you making money for other people. You don't own that business, and you could work there 35 years, and then 35 years in one day, they can decide you don't need to be there no more, and it's not going to be any tears for you. It's not going to be any of that. It's going to be, I'm sorry, you can't be here. There's nothing wrong with working at a job, enjoying your job, working and loving it. It's just that if you are not taking that money and focus on what you got to do on your end and your side for yourself, it's ridiculous. You have to. You have to.
Using our money to stimulate the economy to benefit us, right? Not to benefit everybody else.
So 2 black banks merged to be the first $1 billion African-American or black-owned bank.
Right.
So right now the stock is around $1.76. So I've been telling P, like, man, get 1,000 shares. We get 1,000 shares. They go up $1. Each time we go up $1, we make $1,000. Every time we go up 50 cents, we can make $500. And we contribute and own in a black a bank.
Absolutely.
So if all the black folks, all the black households bought 1,000 shares of this black bank for Christmas.
Yeah. So Mike.
Now we own a company which we can afford to do because the share is only $1.76. We put an influx of capital into that bank so they can lend out to more black people, and we get a say in how the bank is run.
See, here's the thing. We got to stop having comfortable conversations, right? And start having conversations that are productive. See, because a comfortable conversation, that means you don't have to speak to what your credit score may or may not be, what you may or may not be doing from a financial aspect to build, grow, and scale. I always call them just conversations. Really, it's just a lot of hot air.
We talking about Christmas and the holidays, man. We said before, go buy stock. Go buy Target, go buy Walmart, go buy Macy's. Go buy, those stores that folks gonna be shopping at. You go buy and let them come buy from you.
Absolutely.
You buy Target, you an owner in Target. They go shopping at Target. They coming to buy stuff from you.
When was the last time you went to a funeral and as the funeral procession was driving by, you saw the hearse and you seen all the cars with their lights on, and at the tail end it said Pizzo's U-Haul. You ain't ever seen that, right? No. And they like, wait a minute, why is that Pizzo's U-Haul? Man, he taking everything he had, he taking it with him. They gonna bury that next to him. He gonna have 2 plots. Man, you gotta take this knowledge and be willing to share it. Now, I can't make you use it, but at least we put it out there, and what you decide to do with it is totally up to you. To catch part 2 of this episode, subscribe and like the Elevate Your Worth podcast channel. You can also tune in on Spotify and Apple Podcast. I'm your host, Alexander Pizzo, and our special guest today is my 7-year-old little guy, Jackson Alexander. And Jackson wanted to come on and do a segment that we're calling That's the Facts, Jax. So without any further ado, who's the early favorite to win the NBA MVP? And we got 3 names that you came up with. You came up with Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And Nikola Jokic.
And Nikola Jokic. So right now, who do you feel is the MVP based on those 3? And tell me why.
I feel like the MVP is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the early season.
Yep. Tell me why.
Like the fact he averages 31 points per game, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Mm-hmm. Now, if we were talking about rebounds, I would say Giannis or Nikola.
Okay.
If it was assists, I would say Nikola.
Yep.
But I think Shai earns the MVP early season.
Yep. Yeah. Also, when you look at this, right, when you look at the team's records, right?
Right.
Shai's team is leading the West.
Yes.
Right? Giannis's team started off extremely slow.
Yeah.
Denver kind of had a lull until they put Russell Westbrook into the starting lineup.
Yes.
He's been playing extremely well. I think he and Jokic played really well together. But I think if you look at the top team to beat, I mean, let's face it, they played the number one team in the East, which right now is Cleveland. But I think I'm playing long game. When I look at long game, I think the number one team that's going to come out of the East is going to be the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
The Celtics, they're going to get healthy. They'll come out of the East. I think that's going to be a phenomenal matchup with them and the OKC Thunder if the Thunder come out of the West. But again, we're not counting out or discounting the Denver Nuggets. But I think when you just look at his body of work, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is probably the most unstoppable offensive player in the game right now. I mean, he's a walking bucket, mid-range. And what I love about it, he and Kevin Durant, they are the epitome of scores in the mid-range. They really don't focus on the three ball that often, but they can shoot the three. But their bread and butter is in the mid-range, that sweet spot, that 15 to 18, 19 feet. And in a time where you're told that mid-range basketball shouldn't be played, they do it extremely well.
You know, how you mentioned Kevin Durant, they are both good at mid-range. You know, Denver, I mean, they have like 14 losses, but they can still rally up. You know, finally putting Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup really helps them. And I feel like they can win more basketball games now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think we agree. So, Jackson, I want to tell you, man, it's my pleasure as your father to be able to spend this time with you on set. 3 great topics you came up with, right? We spoke about Marcus Freeman being the first black head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, go Leprechaun, to make it to the college football playoff championship, right? Then we spoke about the 2 championship games, the AFC and the NFC. And of course, you picked my guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as your MVP. So, listen, again, I'm Alexander Pizzo.
I am Jackson Alexander.
It's Jackson Alexander. Jackson, again, it was my pleasure. I think you're on the road to success and with your acumen and your sports knowledge. Keep up the great work in school. You know, you tell everybody you're in that dual learning program. You take French half the day.
Yeah.
Say something for the folks out there in French really quick. Just something real small.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yes.
That's simple. Simple and easy.
Yeah.
All right, my guy. Appreciate you. And again, I'm Alexander Pizzo. You've listened to Elevate Your Worth. And as we always like to say, our job is to embrace our vibration so that we can help the next generation. Take care. We'll see you soon.
For more episodes of Elevate Your Worth, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow I Am Alexander Pizzo on all social media platforms.